Animals many times respond to the stimulus by moving. For example, when you come home in the afternoon, your dog will wag its tail. Plants also respond to their environment. Different parts of the plants show movement in response to the various external stimuli. Touch, light, gravity, and water are the stimuli that trigger plant movements. In this homework, each of us is assigned to choose 5 environmental responses and the role of these responses to plant growth and development. But before that, I would like to introduce myself. My name is Joshua N. Vasquez. I'm in my first year in Bachelor of Science in Biology Block A, and today I will tackle the 5 environmental responses I chose. Ano? Tara! First is the trophism. Trophism is the movement of a plant towards its stimulus. If the growth is towards the direction of the stimulus, the trophism is referred to as positive. If it's against the direction of the stimulus, it is referred to as negative. There are various types of trophism. Plants are very sensitive to light. The shoot tend to grow towards the light. This type of plant movement is response to light is known as phototrophism. In phototrophism, the shoot is positively phototrophic, whereas the root is negatively phototrophic. One example of this movement is a tropical plant called Colocasia esculenta or taro. They grew in a shaded place beside the kubo. Although their structure is normally facing downwards, we can see that their bodies bend to adjust and acquire energy from the light of the sun. The next type of plant movement that responds to gravity is known as geotrophism. When the root of plants grow downwards, their shoot grows upwards against gravity. In geotrophism, the shoot is negatively geotrophic and the root is positively geotrophic. An example of this movement is the calamansi plant that exhibits directional growth in response to gravity. Last is hydrotrophism. The roots of the plant grow towards the source of water. It modifies root growth to respond to a water potential gradient in soil and grow towards areas with higher moisture content. An example of this movement is the pandan plant or Pandanus amarillifolius as its scientific name that developed towards the moisture area of our yard. After diving into the various types of trophism, we shall now move to the next type of plant movement, which is called nastic movement. They occur in response to environmental stimuli, but unlike trophism, the direction of the response is not dependent on the direction of the stimulus. The folding of leaflets of sensitive plants like the makahiya plant, the opening and closing of petals in flowers, and the closing of pitcher plants are movements that have no relation to the direction of the stimulus. The other 3 classification of environmental responses of plants is those that affect their life cycle due to specific occurrences based on their environment. And these are senescence, fruit ripening, and abscission. In senescence, it is an irreversible growth of cells characterized by morphological changes such as enlargement, flattening, increased granularity, and etc. One example of this process is the Chamicosus cuspidatus, famously known as the insulin plant. Due to the formation of senescence, the older leaves tend to fall, so that the nutrient will be diverted to the younger leaves. The fall of leaves also reduces the transpiration rate or the conversion of water from liquid to gas. The plant will burst due to the presence of excess water inside them that sometimes lead to death. While in fruit ripening, The fruit of a plant is the development of the ovary after fertilization and protects the seed until complete maturation. During the unripe stage, a fruit represents an organ that must protect them from insects, so the color also camouflages itself with leaves. In the ripening stage of the fruit, the ethylene regulates firmness and color changes involving chlorophyll reduction. It also increases sugars and biosynthesis of volatile organic compounds or VOCs. An illustration of this process occurs in the siling labuyo plant, which coordinates various biochemical and developmental pathways regulated by the organic compound ethylene that affects the color, texture, nutritional quality, and aroma of fruits. And finally, we have the last process called abscission. This is the shedding of leaves, flowers, and fruits. During abscission, the color of leaves, fruits, and flowers changes due to degradation of chlorophyll and the synthesis of anthocyanin pigment. Several environmental factors like drought and nutrient deficiency promote abscission. This process occurred to the leaves of our rubber tree or Hevea brasiliensis mule. While the leaves are continuously developing, the older leaves fall. Before I end my presentation, I would like to extend my deepest, sincerest gratitude to the websites and YouTube channels that introduce new information and have contributed to the body of knowledge, without whom this video would have been impossible. I dedicate this video to every child who wants to explore the beauty of science and learn incredible things from the study of life. God bless and keep safe, everyone.